and welcome to the fireside chat at the 2020 Africa Tech Festival edition. I'm happy to be here. My name is Mariam Tendou Kamara, and I'm the founder of Baantou and MadameDigital, which is based in Senegal, in Dakar. We work with, of course, financial and digital inclusion of women and girls. And I'm happy to have two guests today, and they will introduce, each will introduce themselves briefly. And we have, first, we have Sahar Antar. She's the commercial director for Mondia Pay. And we also have Claudine Gakundi. She's the country manager for Lipa. I hope I did not say it wrong, but she will correct me if I'm wrong. Dear Sahar, can you please tell us a little bit briefly about you?
Sure. So, hi guys, my name is Sahar. I am the commercial director for Middle East and Africa, a region in Mondia Pay. I've been in this business for almost 13 years. I worked in operators and big media companies in the Middle East, and now I joined Mondia Pay for 5 years now. And we expanded heavily. We started in the Middle East and expanded heavily until we reached almost the whole world currently.
Welcome. Thank you, Sahar. And Claudine, welcome.
Yeah. Thank you. My name is Claudine Gakundi. I'm the country manager at Lipa. So Mariam got that right. I've been at Lipa since inception. That was around 5 years ago. I started off as the head of business development, which was majorly making sure that we bring in valuable partnerships and also getting a team to manage those partnerships. And also I played a role in expanding to the current countries that we have. That's now across Kenya and Rwanda, and we're soon to go into Uganda and Nigeria. As well as developing the product Lipa that people know of in Kenya. Yeah.
Welcome to both of you. The theme of today's session is going to be around beyond M PESA payments as the new frictionless mobile infrastructure. That's a quite interesting theme to talk about beyond M PESA. I guess my first question is going to be to give us your insights about how about creating new payment gateways and reward programs in your respective regions. I mean, if there's anything you want to share about that, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I can start. For us, Lipa is what we live and breathe, and I can just give a brief description of what Lipa is. So we are a payment option that allows merchants to sell their products in monthly installments, as well as customers to buy these merchants' products in monthly installments, right? So we are essentially a payment gateway and or a payment option. And we've seen a lot of impact because we were the first of its kind in Kenya. So we went through a very huge learning curve, and we're happy to be here where we are until going to Kenya, Rwanda, and Uganda. But it was a very huge need for people to have product financing and being able to get their necessities, because these days they're considered as necessities like phones, beds, TVs, entertainment, to get them in, and be able to pay for them in monthly installments. So it's been a great journey for us to see like we're the first people to actually sell that specific market, product financing, all the way to here with our latest product being motor vehicle financing. So it's been a journey for us, which we are happy. I mean, we've had our ups and downs, but us being able to serve, especially underserved people who can be unbanked people, has been a great opportunity that we do not take for granted, and we hope to take it further. Yeah.
So how about you, Sahar? Thank you so much, Claudine.
Thank you. Okay, so Mondia Pay in general.
You want me to repeat the question?
No, thank you. Okay, so the DCB, which is our core business, is mainly to pay through your bill or through your e-wallet. So it's a digital way of payment for any digital service through the operator facilitate. So operators are facilitating these payments, either is it through e-wallets or the airtime credit. To give you a very easy, let's say, explanation for it is example of Google or Apple or Huawei App Store or any of the big app stores. Currently, if you want to purchase any app inside the App Store, you don't have to enter any credit cards. You just add your mobile number, receive a PIN code, enter the PIN code, and you subscribe. So it's a very seamless subscription. You don't need any cards, you don't need any legal papers, you don't need anything. The whole idea of the DCB business is to make it easy for the customer to transfer the whole concept of the payments into a cashless society, as what we are. The whole world is actually the direction of the whole world currently. Especially because of the COVID and the situation happened because of the COVID. Currently, especially in South Africa, the cashless society increased from 68% to 75% just for this specific period, and it's increasing heavily since then. So all the customers and all the users are directing their focus to the cashless concept, so they can always get groceries and everything through their cards instead of actually interacting with people because of what happened with the COVID and so forth. In addition to that, of course, the DCB business itself is actually for all the digital products, not physical products like Claudine is offering. So what we offer is mainly for all the digital products, including entertainment products, ticketing, parking, insurance, etc. So everything that you can use through your mobile without any physical product itself, then you can use this payment option for. And in addition to that, which is the most important part, you always use the brand. You have a lot of big brands behind you, which is either the operator name or the bank name. So you're always, that's the trust. This is how you build the trust with the customers to actually go and start using this kind of product. That's it.
Excellent. It seems to us from us who are in a different region that you have already worked on training or informing or educating your customers in terms of the usage and the range of choices. I'd like to go a little bit into that and couple it with the question as to how, as a fintech, do you go about harnessing your reputation, especially in the light of innovation and the COVID?
Of course. So from our business, which is the digital business, currently you have a lot of best practices that you use to make sure that you start supporting the repetition of the fintech and making people trust you, because more or less the most important issue is the risk. Everyone is always scared to try new things, and this is definitely a new thing for people, because for now, even especially in Africa, the concept of credit cards and banks are not yet trusted. So imagine coming and telling them there's no need for cash, not only no cash, but also no cards. So that's like you're trying to give them an option that they don't even understand. That's why I'm telling you, the trust of the big brands, especially the operators and banks, that supports us big time. From best practices in other regions that are evolving in this part, which is the cashless society, especially in UAE, for example. In this market, they've been going on it for a very long time. So we started doing that here with insurance companies, with transportation, with digital products, etc. We have a lot of trusted partners that we are now actually working together hand in hand in Africa with, like Huawei App Store, La Liga, Jumia, for example. Jumia is one of the biggest e-commerce in the whole region, and we launched with them a big platform to introduce the concept of content and digitalizing the concept of you can purchase whatever you want and enjoy the product that you're purchasing through a seamless payment. So this is how we're making sure that we start reducing the risk and using our best practice to gain the trust of the customers and use our reach more or less, which helps the customers feel at ease. And of course, the users, once you start telling them that don't worry, there's no risk, there's no fraud, which is one of the major issues that we face in all the businesses, which is the fraud itself. So when we start easing this, everything goes smoothly, more or less.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing. Claudine, how about yourself? Kenya. How do you go about this specific aspect?
As I mentioned, being the first of its kind, it was very big. It was hard for us to break through, right? So one of our biggest strategies was we partnered with the biggest brands that we have here in Kenya. That's Huawei, Tecno, Oppo, Samsung, because they were already known and they'd already penetrated. It was easier for us to join forces and partner with them and reach out to customers and Kenyans through them and just tell them, you know what, you can get this Samsung that you've always wanted and pay in monthly installments, very easy. As well as if you need to upgrade, I mean, to from a feature phone to a mobile phone, we've partnered with these guys. So it was relatively easier for us to do this, to do that through now our partnerships, which we thank them for because they were very supportive and they saw that there was a very huge need for financing. So it also made it easier for us to penetrate the other markets that I've mentioned, like Rwanda and now most recently Uganda and soon Nigeria, in the sense that the brands, it's one company, right? So it's just as easy as telling now the people in Rwanda, hey, we work with Lipa at Kenya, and this is the impact that we've had on both merchants and customers. Please do the same with these guys. And getting, getting backing from now the Kenyan entity, now the Kenyan brands to now these other ones, it was relatively easier for us to penetrate these other markets, right? Another thing in terms of innovation that we recently came up with is our marketplace. So it's shop.lipaleta.com, which allows our merchants, first of all, to sell their products online, because one of the biggest challenge that we experienced, especially when we're going on ground and onboarding these merchants, is majority of them are not online. If you're not big, you're not online, you don't have the capacity, you don't have the infrastructure to create a website or an e-commerce site. So what we did is we gathered all of them, put them on shop.lipaleta.com. So this is another source of revenue they can get, getting access to more customers that they've never been able to access, as well as our customers being able to go to the marketplace without physically having to go to the store and pick up the item. They just get it delivered, especially with this COVID situation. We thought it would be a very imperative thing for us to launch an online shop that our customers can buy from. Yeah.
So would you say, same with what Sahar said, that in your part of the region with your customers, I mean, training the customers to, to be able to use innovation, but at the same time, I mean, there's so many risks around, moving people from their traditional way of buying and shopping to the digital, payment systems?
Yeah, so as I'd mentioned, us, number one, partnering with the brands made it easier for them to understand because it's a brand that they already know, right?
Okay.
So if we come through Samsung, if we come through Huawei, then like, okay, fine. Then this is now if it's something these brands recommend, it's probably something good because they're trusted people in the market, right? However, in terms of now moving them from a manual process and the general bank process where you have to queue, have to make a line, we made it simple for the customer in the sense that we have a web app. It's called lipaleta.com. You jump on lipaleta.com, make an application there, and you get an instant credit limit, right? So we made the process easier, which made them more comfortable in the sense that there was no so many processes that they had to follow. So it was just going online, making the sign up, and then getting your item, right? I hope I've answered the question, right?
Right. Well, this is quite interesting. I guess one of the last questions I'll have for both of you is how about what are the opportunities for small merchants? As you know, and within the context of COVID, and I know in many parts of the world, but that's also in Africa, it's been a heavy toll on small merchants. What do you see in your respective fields and areas of opportunities, for fintechs, especially, using innovation and within the COVID system? Is it a good sign, or is it going to go down? We've seen big brands, shut down.
So
any one of you can take it.
Yeah, on our side, we are more of a supporter on the end because when COVID came up, there was a dip in cash sales. There was a very big dip in cash sales because people didn't have readily cash available to make purchases, right? So we came in as, listen, you don't have to 100,000 immediately. Why don't you pay 5,000? Because I know you have things to worry about. You have medical to worry about. You have so many things to worry about. Instead of focusing on buying things that you can get in monthly installments, here is where we come in, right? So majority of, we actually experience a surge of now merchants accepting the payment option because before people, cash is better than payment installments, right? So the merchant would rather have that cash as opposed to now someone else then is taking some time and then you get the cash, right? So they started seeing that people were asking, all right, so can I pay in monthly installments? And some of them used to actually give credit, but some of their customers didn't used to pay because number one, the merchants weren't trained, they didn't build a credit scoring algorithm to actually credit score these customers. So you'd find most of them were defaulters, but we came as experienced people. We've been here for 5 years. We've built our own proprietary credit scoring. We know the Kenyan market. We know how they pay, right? So we kind of helped them and became a complementary to their business, which saw on average around 20 to 30% increase within the first 3 months of onboarding Lipa later in terms of sales. Right, so it was a big plus for them, and it's also a big plus for us as well. Yeah,
of course. How about you, Sahar?
So from our business, which is digital business, it's a bit different because as Claudine just mentioned, from her side, it's more of a physical product. So you have to go, you have to do a lot of different stuff, especially for the cash industry because of the COVID and people were a bit scared to start investing, etc. But from a digital perspective, that's a totally different story because actually the digital world increased heavily throughout the COVID pandemic. And the whole point now is the small merchants are actually part of our focus because they've always been there, especially in the digital feed. You offer the payment gateway to everyone. You don't specify it's a premium brand or a semi-premium like we call them. This for everyone because at the end of the day, if the user would like to enjoy a product here or a brand here, you have the option of enjoying whatever they want. This is one. Two, and one of the most important points is we started to, because we are actually live in a lot of, we have more than 50 countries. We're live in more than 50 countries. And because of the best practices, like I mentioned earlier, and because of dealing with everything from big and small, we started to make sure that every single thing in this business is set up properly. So from an integration perspective, we have only one single, which is one single integration to all the 50 countries. So small market, especially for small merchants, it's very hard for them to connect to each and every market separately. So what we did was you will connect to us once and you have the full region that MondiaPay is offering, or not only MondiaPay, everything that we offer, including physical, because we also work with not only with operators, but we also work with other financial institutions. So we also offer different payment options. This is one. We also offer different channels and we do marketing for them if they need the support and marketing, because this is also part of our expertise, where we help them advertise in these markets, help them use clean traffic, clean sources, so they can reach their goal without paying a lot of money. This is two. And of course, one of the major points, which is the fastest time to market. You don't need to go into a long process to launch in 6 months' time, 1 year time. You actually launch in a matter of days, not even weeks. So this also facilitates it for the customers to enjoy the markets they want, launch and see how it goes. And finally, we just launched a big project, which is called Monsouk. This project is actually offering customers a channel where they can embed their services, the small services, to do like a proper advertising for them and help them promote their services. So our business, the digital business, is actually it changes almost on daily basis. So from our side, we make sure that we can cater to the small merchants exactly the same as big merchants. We don't differentiate, because the smaller you are, and the bigger you are, the day you need the same support, you need the same focus. So we all do the same for both.
Yeah, but wouldn't you say, and sorry to continue that, wouldn't you say volume matters, whether you're small or big merchant?
Definitely, but
so
when you
does that mean that you don't?
Yes, please.
No, I just wanted to understand a little bit better for people who are listening, who are like me, very interested in knowing a little bit the back office side. You know, we hear a lot of complaints from small merchants, you know, facing those big names and big brands and big merchants, basically. And so I wanted to know you said something very important, which is very good for your company, but I want to go back to it. Volume, does volume matter?
Again, so if the product, if the owner of the product is differentiating their product in a way or another, then definitely there won't be any. The competition is always there. So Netflix is competing with Showmax in South Africa. They're always there. I know. So there's always competition, but the smarter you are, the more you can compete. At the same time, the same customer can subscribe to multiple services. That's the beauty of digital. You don't have to have one, like Claudine from her side. You need to get one item, which is, let's say, one mobile. You're not going to buy 50 mobiles, but in the digital world, you can subscribe to 50 services with the same exact verticals. The beauty of